We are finally to the off season, which is long overdue, long awaited. Take a quick gander at everything. Fans are at a 1%, morale's at a 35 for the team overall. We will look at all of these season stats. Through 11 games, Nigel Payne, and I've been saying Payne, it's Pay. I don't care. I'm going to continue to call him Payne. Doesn't matter. Through 11 games, though, who was injured for a majority of the season. 68% completion, 2,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, 18 picks. Not a lot on the ground, couple touchdowns. Debo Irwin through 14 games. About 4 per carry, even less. 500 yards, 8 touchdowns with 5 fumbles. And he was decent out of the backfield as well. He actually plays better than what his stats would tell you, but he just shades of Quincy Mullen. Fumbling the ball too much. You know, he was always great in between the 20s, and he just could never do anything in the goal line, honestly. Tristan Tevye, though, through 17 games, played the entire season, was healthy. 126 receptions for 15, 32, and 9. He's no EJ Diamond, but he's solid. And honestly, a great pairing 1-2 punch between him and Miles Onwenu, who is in a contract year. And Miles, you could argue for some spots, played better. Overall, 100 receptions for 12, 19, and 10. Picasso, whatever. Deontay Dion, who we acquired from the Bills early in the season, nothing special. Alton Ertz, just awful. Always seeing his name. It was never for anything good. Voshan Razor, not great. He was injured a little bit there. A lot of our defense was injured for the majority of the season. It's always alternating. Nothing else really to note of between that. Luke Curry played like shit. Probably shouldn't have drafted him with the #1 overall pick, but he's got a chance, this next year to prove us wrong. 4 games for the free agent signing Rashad Norwell, who played fine. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't the worst, but a lot of costly turnovers there. 69% completion. About 800 yards, 4 touchdowns, 7 picks, and a little bit of rushing. As the team is so upset, everyone's not happy to be here, but we're gonna skip through. And of course, Buffalo is gonna win it. Fans rated the players, and this looks about right. Couple goods, majority terribles, couple poors as well. As they played Green Bay, so Green Bay went back to back in the Retro Bowl, lost both of them. It's a little bit of 80s Bills vibes, a little Jim Kelly, but Buffalo gets a win. It's a close game. It looks like, if it's not us, it's Buffalo. That's what it appears to be so far. Take a quick look here. Every game on Extreme, every game was pretty tough. Not a lot of close games, honestly. The ones we did win, other than that Arizona game, I don't know how we managed to do that. Minus 150 point differential. I want to say last year we were a plus 150, and we finished with a 2-15 record. And a lot of salary cap used up as well. All of the extra stuff, the coaching credits, they don't always attribute to wins. That's for sure. Made that very clear. As you can see, though, no restarts. Yeah, pretty tough season, but we will hop into the offseason as a new season begins, and we are losing our offensive and defensive coordinators. Probably not much of a loss, but we will look at free agent re-signings as we've got a few decisions to make. Cheryl's, no fucking way. No way. Miles Onwenu. Miles is 34 years old. We're asking for a 1-year deal, and he's toxic. I'm leaning towards no. He had a solid production-based season, kind of giving me the vibes of, another receiver we had. He is regressing too. I mean, he's 34 years old.
Yeah, Coach, do you plan on re-signing Miles and Wayu with his contract ending up here soon?
He has played pretty well, I would say. Obviously growing pains on the whole offense, but he definitely provides a good safety net. For these quarterbacks that kind of can't seem to get their together, for lack of a better words. But he's a quick guy. He's pushing 30, but 30 is not the same as it used to be. Things are slowing down. Your body, doesn't want to do what it used to do. So to answer your question, probably not though. No.
Voshan Razor, who we traded for in the beginning of the season last year, he's excellent. And $22 million for a 3-year contract. Could always trade him at some point. I'm gonna go ahead and sign him back on the team, and we're gonna. Unfortunately, it was great playing with you. You had a nice productive season. Hopefully, someone picks you up on a vet minimum, but we don't really give a shit. As I'm seeing right off the rip here, we're playing Houston to start the season, but not worried about that. We are going to hop into the draft. I am extremely excited, and we've got 1 pick in the entire draft, which means lots of players on this team will be gone. We will look at Nigel Payne. He's worth a 2nd-round pick, So was Rashad Norwell. Now, looking at accuracy, Nigel's got the boost. Stamina and speed, slight edge to the younger quarterback in Norwell. But first, before we even worry about that, Debo worth a second-round pick. He is still at a decent stat cap overall. His stamina is awful, but as expected for a 32-year-old running back, I can't wait to trade this guy. For a second-round pick, Picasso Millen, go fuck yourself. You are out of here. On to bigger and better things. Alton Ertz, fighting on the field, just letting up every fucking play he possibly could. I can't trade him because he's toxic. All right, we're gonna boost your confidence, buddy. How'd that feel? You know what, Alton, you could be an All-Pro one day. Really, you mean it? No. Adios. Go fuck yourself. Little interdivisional trade. We're going to look at some of these players here. We've got 5 scouting points here. Oh my god, that receiver looks ridiculous. This one looks insane too, though. Jeez, we've got a decision to make. I think just based on looking at all these players overall, we got a few people to look at. I'm thinking obviously some sort of offensive player. It's either going to be one of these receivers. Oh, we could use a tight end, though. A tight end could definitely help this team out. What do we have later on? Looks like there's a couple good running backs later on and a couple good quarterbacks as well. I think this first overall pick needs to be spent on a receiver because, you know, there's a decent tight end later on in the draft, but these 2 receivers look insane. Antoine Tupu and Donovan Watts. We will scout Antoine real quick. Oh my god. That's about all you really need to see is that max speed. He would be insane, but we'll look at Watts as well. Stamina. How bad is Tupu's stamina? Stamina is great for him. Antoine has to be the receiver to take. I mean, he's got that like TO build with a huge body. Great catching when he's got the potential to go all the way up. I mean, he's like a tight end Kyle Pitts type mold. I mean, would I consider taking either of these running backs? Probably not. And the defensive options are pretty much off my board as well. I could have looked at Dalen Henney, but at this point, I think I can't pass up Antoine here. We're going to go ahead and sign Antoine Tupu with our first round pick. And he is on the squad now, joining up with the Oak State receiver Tristan Tevy. And we are into the second round, as a running back has fallen to us, as though the one running back didn't slip, but the other one did. And we've got a couple second round picks here. Got Levante Keekley, got Perkins, got a couple quarterbacks as well. Carter Eaglesby, Carter Egbuel. We got 3 scouting options too. So we already have 2 quarterbacks on this team. I'm trading Debo. I think I'm going to trade him for a second rounder. At this point, if somebody wants him, they can take him. I'd rather have a rookie. As far as running backs goes, like I said, we have 3 picks. So I'm definitely thinking Jeremy, decent overall. He should be a good weapon, at least, you know, upgrade over Frank Johnson. So I got 2 scouting options. I got to be careful with it. I'm thinking I'd probably take a quarterback here, and I probably take a running back. Who's left in the later rounds? I'm going to scout Baron Riddick, and he's not great. So I think with that being said, I will probably switch to Neiman. But between these 2 quarterbacks, Carter Egbuel and Marco Lukita. First things first, I think we will go ahead and draft DJ Neiman, as he is just speed. No strength at all. That's fine. Speed is very necessary in this league. Probably if I had known that ahead of time, I'd probably still take him because I would rather have a running back that's at least good at one thing than pretty good at 2 things. Baron Riddick's fine, but not really thinking about it. I think I'm going to go ahead and scout Marco here. He doesn't really give me a whole lot of confidence, but at the same time, stamina difference. Carter Egbuel. Probably going to have to get rid of one of these 2 players. Nigel Pay, second rounder, toxic morale. They're both toxic. I think I'm going to try to trade Nigel. We're going to go ahead and meet with him as well. The Chargers, who we have a history with at head coach, is going to offer us a second for Nigel, and we will trade him. So with that being said, we've got another pick to make. So first of all, going to grab Jeremy Tryon at a very important position, an offensive weapon, honestly. And then we will go ahead and take Carter Egbuel. Did I make the right choice? I think I might have. Slow as can be, but decent accuracy to start with and an okay strength overall. And I think with this last pick, I just need to make some sort of choice on defense. You know, we've got a running back, a couple tight ends, unless I can grab this O-lineman. A couple decent ones here. Boston Crum, Kyer Shippey. I think I like Crum as far as strength goes, but Kyer, I think I'm going to take Kyer. Kyer Shippey is going to be our next pick. and he's a decent pick overall. Has the potential for max blocking and strength. Hopefully, having him on the offensive line will give us a lot more time to make choices. Looking at this team overall real quick, if Norwell were to be the starter, we would have a rookie running back, tight end, and receiver too, and O-lineman. Tevi goes from being the rookie to literally being one of our oldest vets on the offense, and our defense stays the same for the most part, hoping that they can take steps up. Our roster is pretty much set. We have Carter Egbuel, JD Neiman, Jeremy Tryon at tight end, Antoine Tupu, who's going to be an absolute beast, and Tristan Tevi, along with Kair Shippey on the offensive line, and then Damone Deaton at D-line. Voshan Razor and Luke Curry make up an excellent potential at cornerbacks. Hopefully lockdown, and we have the backup Rashad Norwell. I'm hoping that Carter Egbuel can actually give us some confidence, but time will tell, as we will be taking on Houston to start off Season 2 in the next one. Take it easy.